Hey there, if you're somebody at home that doesn't have good balance, your idea is to get good balance. Okay, if you're a nurse at the Royal Hobart or if you're a patient at the hospital, they would normally have brochures on what do you do for bad balance. And they don't actually help address the core issues, which is trying to improve your balance. They'll just kind of deal with a band-aid solution like bring that desk a bit closer. Make sure you've got somebody walking beside you if you feel like you're going to fall. But that's actually not good enough because we can actually do a lot to help our balance issues as long as it's not some major problem like a brain cancer or something growing. There are a lot of things we can do. And even if you had feet issues, sometimes your balance won't be the best. I know of somebody that had some toes amputated when they were much younger, and that's going to make your balance a lot harder. But I'm talking about for the average person out there, that as you get that little bit older, your balance starts to go on you, and it can even be younger people as well. So I want to take you through some simple steps that you can do to actually address those balance issues. Because you think if when we start to fall, for example, our brain sends a signal down to our muscles and comes back to tell us to hold ourselves upright. And as long as we're strong enough and as long as our signals have been practiced well, we should be able to stop ourselves from going for a fall. I was really excited today to have my 87-year-old client say that during the week she had a trip and she was going down. She was about to fall, but she was able to stop herself in time and stand up. So she didn't actually get down to the floor. She stopped herself mid-fall and was able to get back up again. But she was excited because once upon a time she would have just fallen. Well, we do a lot of our training standing on one leg, and so her whole system that sends nerves from her brain down to her body have been working well, and so they're very efficient. And so when she's about to fall, it tells her you're about to fall. Do. Okay, stand upright. So she's good. But if this is slow and we haven't ever really practiced standing on one leg, then we had that moment we're falling and we have to often stand on one leg. It's often before you fall is often on one leg. And if we haven't practiced that beforehand, then as we go down, the signal kind of goes slowly down, and before we know it, we're down on the floor before it gets back up to our brain to tell us that we're falling. So some simple things that you can be doing at home today is when you're cooking or washing up or whatever you're doing, try standing on one leg, just one leg. But I would probably stand on one leg holding onto a wall, okay, so you're not going to fall. Then if you're feeling game, you can let go of the wall. Maybe or you feel like you're a bit unstable, go back to the wall. The more you do this, the more stable you'll become. And you'll find that all those muscles in your lower leg will work as well. Of course, where you do one leg, do the other. You'll often find that there'll be one far more stable than the other for whatever reason. It could be the side that you use all the time in life, and it just might be a more stable side than the other side. And what actually happens when you stand on one leg as well? So you may not be doing it at the kitchen sink because that's quite hard doing things at the same time. But if you can think of doing this every day, maybe before you go out the door, you will find that your balance will improve no end. Now, as I'm standing on one leg, I'm just going to describe to you what I can feel. If I had the camera zooming down into that leg, you would find that all the muscles in my foot are all activating and working to hold me in place. Come up from there, my muscles around my ankle are all working. The muscles up through my leg and around my knee are all working, and up into my thigh, and even my core is needing to working to keep me stable and upright. So there's far more going on than just the proprioceptor system, but it's also my body is working. And then where you do it on one side, do it on the other. Now, if you find this easy enough and you get away from the wall and you can stand here and kind of going, well, this is a cinch now, you can make it a bit harder for yourself, but I would be standing beside the wall for this, is where you take one leg up and close your eyes and then see if you can take your hand away. Now, this becomes a lot harder, even for a seasoned professional such as myself. But if you want to make things harder, you can do that. If you're not so sure about closing your eyes, that's fine. How often do we stand on one leg while we close our eyes? It's not very often. You may want to come beside the wall again, and from here, you're going to take that leg up And we're just going to do a little lean forward from our hips. So what we're doing, we're going to stand on one leg and coming forward. Now, again, there's a bit of a bend in that front leg, and I'm just going to try not to hold the wall. And your aim is to just hold here. Probably a nice slight pull in of that belly button, tongue on the roof of our mouth, so our core is on, I'm protecting my neck. But suddenly, I'm in the position I'm probably going to go into if I do fall, because if I fall, I'm probably going to be down onto one leg. But this is a great way to work that leg as well. Now I can find this right into my glutes, so it works right up. So of course you do one leg, you do the other. Now you probably want to start holding the wall at first. See if you can take your hand off the wall, put the hand back, off the hand wall, back. And this leg in front, see if you can have a little bend, and we're just going to hold here. Now if you can, hands off, and see how you go here. This is quite a big thing to do, but have the wall close so you can actually hold it again. And this whole leg right up into my glute, I can feel working all the way up. So it's pretty intense. A great way to just get that balance going. But also another thing I love for balance are fit balls. So here I've got a fit ball, and I'm just going to see how I go with one leg up. Probably not find that too hard. You may want to start with your hands on the ball. One leg comes up. Let's take the other leg up and hold. That's it. Maybe see how long you can start there for. If that's easy, try taking your hands off. Taking one leg up, taking the other leg up. Awesome. Now, if that's really easy to do, you can take both legs up. So from here, I like to kind of go back on my ball a bit, because I'm going to try and counterbalance with my legs at the front. Have my hands here, and I'm going to take both feet up and try and stay here. Easier to look down at a spot on the floor, but you can see that my head is doing a whole lot of work with my body to tell me you're about to move over to the right, move a bit over to the left, move over to the right, take it back, take it forward, whichever way. So my proprioceptors are working overtime. My signals going from my brain to my body are going boom, 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 boom. You're turning a bit to the left, you're turning a bit to the right. Move it back over, back forward, move back. Come into the center a little bit further, back this way. So these signals from my brain right now are boom, 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 overtime, working overtime. So if you can, try taking your feet up off the floor. And that obviously becomes a bit harder when you take hands off. Yep. See how you go. It does become easier over time. The other one I like for balance as well is actually taking, just so it's just hands on the ball, knees right by the ball, and we're just going to take a little rock. So just try and take those feet off the floor, and you're just trying to rock onto your ball. Now, if you're really unstable anyway, I wouldn't suggest this. This is a bit more advanced when you're further along, that you don't feel like you're going to fall. But then from here, trying to take those feet then all the way off the floor, so you're holding here. Again, this is going to do a whole lot of activity, send signals up to your brain, and you can see that I'm all over the place, but this is really good brain training, I'll tell you. Really good brain training. And then from here, if you feel that you can, ta-da! You can come up on your ball and, whoops, you don't want to show off it either, or you're probably going to come back off again. But your aim in the end is to come up and then see if you can stay here. There you go. So I hope you've enjoyed that, because there's some simple things that you can be doing at home just today, simple stuff to actually get down to the very root of why we fall. I, as a nurse and a fitness trainer, but as a nurse for many years of my life, I've seen too many adults come in after a fall and with fractured ribs and multiple fractures, and it's not a fun thing. Believe me, they're usually in a hospital stay for about 3 to 4 weeks with multiple pain relief, and it's hard to even breathe. So if you can possibly prevent a fall, now's your time to start training. It's not tomorrow, it's not next year, it's not next month, it's not next week, it's today. So just start. Simply as that. You don't have a fit ball, that's fine. Simply as that. Start with one leg off the floor. See if you can take your hands away. See if you can stay stable on there for a while. And that becomes easier than close your eyes, or you can take that little bend forward. I hope you've enjoyed that, and start practicing today. All the best.